Your back hurting could be because of a lot of things. So let's do a few things to help with our lower back pain. Let's go over what could be causing this low back pain. Your core is what we're going to focus on here, which is made up of your abdominals, your lower back, and your hips, which includes your hip flexors, your glutes. So any of those could be either weak or tight. What are ways that we can do anything to fix that? First of all, whenever you're standing or even when you're sitting, just try to pull your belly button into your spine and squeeze. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. You can do this standing, you can do this sitting, you can do this lying down. Let's go to a lying down position and do a couple things there first. First here, I want us to do some pelvic tilts, which I'm going to try to show you guys best I can. I'm going to grab my hip bones best I can and just try to rotate to where my lower back is now flat against the ground, and then rotate it the other way where I have a good arch, and just try to move that back and forth. If you feel tightness in your lower back here, stay there. Breathe through it. While you're in this rounded position where your lower back is flat, I'd recommend you can put your hands anywhere you want. I like to put mine out. And just try to pull your abdominals into your spine. I don't care if you have belly fat. You can still do this, and lying down on the ground can really help you activate those core muscles. So from here, just really try to suck it in. Keep those hips rotated. It's hard. It's hard. But here you can feel what's tight, what's sore, what's weak. And we need to work on that. So ab strengthening exercises, like maybe a hollow hold here, even some sit-ups, which I don't love sit-ups, but you're doing something to strengthen your abdominals. That's fine. Planks, work on those abdominal muscles. If your lower back hurts, you probably have a weak core. That is not like a 1-to-1 ratio thing. That is most people that sit a lot or just don't exercise a lot have pretty weak abdominal muscles. So it's really important for you to focus on trying to get these engaged, which, like I said before, rotating our hips down and sucking our belly in, but even pressing that belly out, maybe going back and forth. And I can feel my lower back kind of widen and tighten, and I can feel all those like sore and tight lower back muscles start to get a little bit of tension. Then when I relax, they're a little less tight, they're a little looser. Next, let's work on our hip flexors, our glutes, our overall balance. Doing this without holding onto something is ideal. You want to try to work up to that a little bit, but holding onto this for beginners, which I think most of you are going to be, is great. It allows you to focus on what we need to. So one of my legs, I am going to be lifting up. The other leg, I need my feet to spread and to put both my big toe and little toe into the ground and kind of rotate my knee out a little bit to help activate that glute, because I'm going to be squeezing that opposite glute as much as I can while lifting this leg up and down. I'm going to try to keep my core tight here too. This is something that is supposed to be a very natural thing that we do, but so few of you get your knee to that 90-degree angle unless you're actively doing like a squat or a lunge, even if you do work out. But just practicing, feeling comfortable here, squeezing that back glute, keeping that core engaged, really helps you get in touch with your abdominals. Ooh. And it's fantastic for practicing your balance too. Again, you struggle with balance, grab onto a chair. It's going to be a huge help here. Cat-cows are another fantastic exercise for our lower back as we are rounding. This is our cat. And then we're going to go the opposite direction. This is our cow. Now, you can do these multiple different ways, but if we want to focus on the lower back, I am just rotating, using that pelvic tilt in our hips, just like we were before. I'm squeezing my glutes a little bit. If you really want to, get on your fingertips here and squeeze those glutes. That's going to aid in your lower back and your hips loosening up because you're engaging them properly. Learning how to squeeze your muscles, how they contract, is really, really important. This is another fantastic one that I'd say you should do this before bed or when you wake up in the morning if you would all wake up with low back pain or just have low back pain. This is one of the best things you can do for your lower back. It is easy. You can go at your own pace. And if you can't get on the ground like this, you can do this leaning against a chair or something. So you can still do it. It's just not going to be as effective as the other way, but I understand a lot of you have limitations that are very hyper-specific to you, especially those of you who follow me who don't exercise, who haven't exercised, and are very confused on how to move their bodies effectively. Again, that's why I'm here. That's why I want to do what I'm doing. Rotation is what a lot of your core muscles are really involved with as well. So doing something like this, where I'm rotating back and forth, I'm trying to put my right hand in my back left pocket, left hand in my back right pocket. You're not going to get there. And here's why. Because I'm going to keep my hips forward by tightening my glutes, squeezing them just enough, firmly planting my feet in the ground to where when I go one direction, that side's glute. So when I twist to my left, that left glute, I'm going to squeeze a bit harder to keep this in place, which is going to allow my lower back to be the muscle that is stretching, contracting, and going back and forth between that. We isolate those muscles up there and just go back and forth. I like to start low, like we were talking about back pocket, and slowly raise it up because you start to pull some tension based on where your arms are at, and then go back down to different segments of your spine. You guys probably couldn't hear, my back popped 4 different times there, and it feels fantastic. Rotation is a very integral part of your core that you should be doing even just like this. So I'd highly recommend standing. You can do what most people know as a Russian twists. I like to call them just seated twists because the Russians don't own the rights to the twist. That's another really effective way of what your spine and your abdominals, your entire core is meant to do, but we just don't do very often. So many of us sit in a chair like this all day, right? We're not activating our hips. We're not activating our abdominals. We're not activating our lower back. So we need to make up for that by doing these motions that our body is supposed to be doing much more often. The last thing I want to go over is a toe touch or toe touch variations. So basically, just trying to stretch out your spine into this flexion position. I can reach all the way to the ground. I know a lot of you can't. So grab something that isn't too heavy, but is going to help pull you down. It can be a backpack. It doesn't have to be a weight just like this. Something that when you bend over is going to help you stretch further. Now, if you are not like me and can't reach to the ground anyways, you're going to want to make sure you pull your shoulder blades back when you do this, or else you're going to be stretching more of your upper back and arms when you do it this way. So your shoulder blades need to be engaged. And here I'm pushing my hips back as I'm reaching down. Now, what I want to do here is put this weight on the ground. And then I'm going to come up, reach for the ceiling, and really try to stretch up as high as I can. The ceiling is out of reach, but I'm going to try to reach it anyway. And I'm keeping my feet firmly on the ground, reaching up to try to extend my spine in the opposite way I just was. And then I can come back here, grab this if I need to off the ground, and then come back here. You can try slightly different variations, whatever feels comfortable. Go slow, take it easy to utilize that into a routine for yourself. Your lower back is not going to stop being tight unless you do something about it. That is the biggest thing I want a lot of you to take away from this, is you have to put in some work. You have to move those muscles. You have to strengthen some other ones. So I didn't go over a ton of different core work activities that we could do. I went over a few. You need to go research some more. Find some that really fit for you. If these don't work, or if you can't even do some of these despite the regressions and the options I tried to give you guys, let me know and I can make some more videos like this. As much as I can, I would love to make helping the general public by answering as many of your specialized questions as I can, because if you're curious about it, someone else probably is too. And if I'm doing this for the next 40 years of my life, I'm living a good life because I'm helping you guys. I'm helping us feel better, feel more like we have control over our bodies and not like we completely lost control of our bodies and our lives. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Love you dearly. Thank you so much.